Hiya, and welcome to episode 34, part 3 of the Unseen Strands podcast, a crochet and fiber arts related podcast, where I, your host Mo, am visually impaired and will be sharing with you strands of the rest of my life. I come to you from central Iowa, where I live with my 4 boys, my husband, our 3 cats, and our dog. And this will be the status acquisitions part of episode 34. So this probably will be the longest segment since over June, July, August, beginning of September. I don't know if I've gotten anything super recently. I have gotten in on a couple sales, and also that'll include HobbyLobby clearance sale. That includes Iowa Sheep and Wool Festival. It includes Leading Men Fiber Arts Anniversary Sale and another Dyer's year anniversary celebration of being in business, plus Dyed in the Wool's going out of business sale. So this will be a very cut up in different segments part. I've tried to start and stop many different segments just so that I can try to get all the items together, because I do not have them all together to share with you. So anyways, let's get on to the goods. And I'm recording now while Fjord, our new little baby kitten, is at his vet appointment to get his shots that he was too young for when we first adopted him. So the shelter that we adopted him from, which is actually true of at least the other shelter that we had gotten Sona from, you have to have a vet visit within the first 10 days of owning them. Of course, since he was a brand new, fresh kitten, he had gotten his booster shots or whatever for whatever they could give him when he was neutered, and then they had not done anything, or he was not old enough, since he was only 8 weeks old when we got him, to have any additional shots. So he's off at the vet getting that done. You say, hi. Hi, I came over because Mommy's got all the yarn out. I said, yarn. I am a naughty little kitty and I like yarn. I just got back from the vet and now I have clean ears. One of the things that I had won, and this is one of our Fjord victims, so that's too bad yet, but he pulled this out of the bag it was in. I had won a prize from Cinnamon Stitches, and I hope this is the skein that was in there. This is the Jafar colorway. I haven't labeled this yet, so that's why I can't be 100% sure that this is the skein, but I'm pretty sure this is the one in it. This is the one he ran off with from the bag. So, and then this was a Premier yarn, I believe. It was a cotton something blend, my husband told me, but I had won those 2 things from Cinnamon Stitches. So I'll try to, I won't be able to link everybody because I can only link 5 cards, but I will try to remember to link people. Number 2. So number 2 is a prize that I won. Guys, this is probably the most amazing, bestest prize I have won thus far. So I'm not surprised I haven't won other things, because I know I mentioned it in another video. It was probably a weekly whip, but it was my Fiber Love Diary. Yes, her channel. She was doing her big subscriber giveaway that I had gotten. Not only I don't know which way this box needs to go, so I got a Paradise Fibers box, which was the June kit, I believe. But I also got this box. There's no information on the back of this. None of this would have my address on it, but I didn't want to share any other addresses. This, my friends, is a blending board. Oh, that's another thing I didn't bring up. Yeah, it comes with these dowels, this combing brush. I have used this, so it's all probably a little bit dirty. I had not posted that video. I think I might have lost it, but then I didn't lose it. Stuff on this particular thing. This is a screw that goes into this part to give you a base for it. And then this, my friends, is a blending board. It's ginormous. Yes. Like, next to my head, guys. But, yeah, I've already tried to make one bat. I wasn't super successful, but it'll all take time and effort. And then I was watching, whose podcast was it? I think it was a European friend. But they said that you can just put the nylon mesh netting down on top of this to make your fiber easy to pull off in bat form or Rolex or for whatever. I'm like, that is ingenious. So that'll be my next plan because I have lots and lots of net. I have lots of uncut net, and I have net that I wasn't going to use because I'd gotten it from Joann's online, and it's kind of misleading on how it's worded, and it was the finer net, and that was not what I wanted. I wanted the more meshy net so that it would be better for scrubbing. But yeah, so that was my huge prize winning, and that was, like I said, I think that's the June box. So I had won it. I had won it like the day after we had gone to Iowa Sheep and Wool, so like Father's Day weekend-ish. Because I missed her live because I was at, I think, that the Iowa Sheep and Wool. Sorry guys, trying to get this halfway sorted. But I did document my first bat attempt, and then my camera like wigged out, so I didn't have the finish, but I did have the finish. Yeah, and if you need a reminder, so I now have extra of everything in this box, which was awesome because it came with a die. So I now have 2 colors of dye. I don't remember which this one was. It came with, I think this was just the sachet. Yeah, a Smellies. Oh, there was candy in here. The kids will probably be mad at me that I did not share my candy with them because I forgot it was in here. This was the, I believe it was banana taffy. It's still squishy though, so it should still be good. And the moss keychain ring. I remember doing the video for that to try and dangle that in front of you. Yeah, I got that moss key ring. And this was the one that came with the camel fiber, which was, I was like, oh, that's so expensive. But beautiful. I think it was a camel silk. Guys, I don't remember. It's been too long. And it has the little bug inside it, which I didn't realize that was supposed to be there. Because I have gotten mail before that had bugs, or, you know, just like a little beetle that got into the mail. Because mail is messy. And had this other fiber in it, which I don't remember offhand what this was. But we had that fiber. So now I have 2 of these and 2 of this fiber. So that should allow me to do a lot more fun. And you might remember that in one of the weekly whips I did recently, I said that my sock had won a prize in the sock along for, it was the RUnraveled.com's sock along, Sock Knitters United, I think is what it's called. They will accept any socks, not just knitted socks, but that is what their group is called. And so this was the yarn that I had won from them. This is, I think it was an ice yarn, my husband said. I haven't got this one labeled yet, so again, I don't know the details on it, but that is another little prize that I got recently. Then, I hope that I got this all right. I had entered a couple different contests, I believe, for the Rebel Purl yarns, her podcast that she does with her friend, which is QRG and RNA, I think, because it's Quiet Riot Girl, and I don't know what her friend's stuff stands for, but I remember hers is RNA. I think this was the skein that I had won from that. I don't remember anything about it because I've gotten the label, so I believe this is, I'm not going to tell you because I don't remember. I think that was the skein that came with it. Everything has just been a mess, guys. I got this again back in like June because I believe this came in while my husband was on his business trip, so that's really why I have no clue on some of the details. And it came with this bag. This is made by her friend. And it had these two little ones. I hope this is what was in it because this is what I still had together. I don't think this one had a label, but that one had that label. So I hope that was right. And I'm sorry, Mary, if I have misled anybody. but she does a lot of giveaways in her podcast, so you might want to go check that out. Additions from my Iowa Sheep and Wool Festival. Sorry. Just handled fiber. It's now getting on my nose. These were from Quirky Fiberworks. We have My Favorite Things, I believe, and Midnight Pumpkin, which these, at least the Midnight Pumpkin, was one that was Fjordified first. It was the first one he stole right from underneath me while I was doing the labeling. I took the picture of it to add it to my tracking system, which I kind of got lazy and haven't been doing. But I took a picture of it, went to save it in the program or whatever, and looked back down, and it ran away from me. So that's when we first discovered that little Mr. Fjord has a yarn fetish, because up to that time, it had been at least 2 weeks since he'd been in his house, and he hadn't touched yarn. But a month later, and all of a sudden, he thinks Mommy's pretties are his pretties. And these are a BFL nylon, I believe. Not a merino, because I like my BFL yarns. They might be 100% BFL, but I think they were BFL nylon. From Quirky Fiberworks. This is a bamboo. Is it merino? Merino bamboo nylon or just merino bamboo? I don't remember. Might have to check that. I do have a tag with this one, but it's not one I've copied, so I'm not sure that I've actually labeled it or if I just paired it with a label and then never actually, because that was different processes in the labeling set. But this is in my works in progress pile, which is why I'm recording this separately from the other Quirky Fiberworks that I got back in June at the Iowa Sheep and Wool Festival, because this will be continuing to stay in the bag with the work in progress, because this was supposed to be more of the summer socks that I was going to make for my husband, and I haven't gotten started yet. I don't remember what colorway this is, though. But yeah, we tried a colorway. I want to say this is Fiesta, actually. I do think I have labeled this. I should have brought my phone over so I could scan it to see the details. I want to say this was something Fiesta. This is a fiber that I got from the Quirky Fiberworks. I believe the color listed on was cranberry, unless it did lose its actual tagging of any sort that I got. Fjord's now jumping in my box of yarn because it's empty enough for him. Yeah. We got this, I want to say it was a silk something blend, but it might just be a silk, but I think it was blended with something else, and I forget how much is in it. But I wanted to make sure to get one of those dyed silk braids with the Leading Men Fiber Arts. But this was Wind Chill. It's their worsted weight yarn, and it is the super wash, and this is what, well, I guess these are both what is left of my 100 grams. This is Poison Apple. I don't think I have Wind Chill in a showstopper, but I do have Poison Apple in showstopper. So these were made in Sam's brioche hat, and the Poison Apple, I was going to make him apple socks. So I have Poison Apple and I have Sour Apple, and at some point I'm going to make him socks. So his socks will halfway match because I have the blue and not green, of course. But yeah, so we have those two that I had also purchased back in June at the Iowa Sheep and Wool Festival. These are my Yarn Geek fibers, my two newest additions. These are in a Corriedale nylon base, and this hat, it was a marine biologist, I can't remember what the actual name is, and this is Rainbow Dashing, which my husband and kids all picked out and said it was their favorite, but this was my favorite. So, you know, we have to make Mommy happy and Daddy happy. Items that I haven't got to yet that was from Iowa Sheep and Wool was one of these felting kits. This is an alpaca. Now the reason I had gotten this particular kit is it comes with a nice big felting square. I don't know what you actually call them. And I figured if we never got around to felting, this would make an awesome cookie cutter, which is the base that you use, but it will help us If we ever get around to felting, it'll give us another idea of how to do the felting with the form base, because as I understand it, you base it around this or push it into it or something, and then you can reuse this form. We have Kitty Fjord, just if you were wondering what those noises were. Yeah, so we had gotten this kit. Also at Iowa Sheep and Wool, I was able to get some, and this was before I actually had gotten my blending board, but this will be awesome for my blending board. I've gotten some of these sparkle fibers. So these are, I think it's about 10 grams each, and I think there was 8 of them. There's 7 or 8. Looks like I have 8. Different sparkle fibers, and I don't remember what particular booth this was from, but I think we've seen them at a couple different shows before. That was another fun purchase. This is not as fine as the Stellina or Angelina fiber, but I figured if I'm just looking to add a little sparkle, the super fine is not necessary. So I just tried to get a nice little assortment of colors in that. Now for this item, I don't have the other thing we got at this booth, and I don't know, like all these you're not getting the actual place that we got it from. I want to say that this is Romney fiber. I've already braided it. It was just loose roving or whatever, but I went ahead and braided it. And also at that same booth, we were able to get this sheep Lego game, and I don't know, it is a shave them to save them participant, and so I think that might have been something that was started maybe with that program, but it was a Lego game that was based around shearing. Like, I didn't play it with the boys, but they have already played it, and it wasn't really a bad game. It was like you had to get so many bags of wool or something, but then the wolf could come and you could lose your wool, and I wish I knew where that was. I want to say that we paid either $8 or $10 for the game, and it might not even been that much. It was a super cheap, fun little, I mean, it came in a decent size box, but I mean, it was still small, but it was small to the point of it was be nice to store, but I don't know where the boys put it, so I can't share that with you. One of the other fun additions we got at the Iowa Sheep and Wool Festival was these earrings. I have another pair here that I am not wearing. So I got this red pair, and I also got, we'll see how well we can get this to focus, but I also got this blue pair. And what this was from was a mill out in California, in Colorado. They do this, they're a sock maker. They mill and make socks, and then this is just some of the extra strings. They make these earrings. They also made felted balls. Okay, and now the final thing that we got from Iowa Sheep and Wool, it was probably not the final, I probably got the sparkle fiber after this, but we were able to get basically a refurbished one of these. Now, I had actually gotten this before I had found out that I had won the blending board, and this is sort of kind of the same thing, but on a more massive scale. This is a drum carder. Ugh, sorry, yes, it's huge, it's heavy, and it's very hard for me to do this and try to explain to you. But you would, actually, I'm not sure which place you feed the fiber. You probably, ow, it's very sharp and pokey. You probably lay the fiber on this, or does it come out that? And you crank this, and it blends your fiber so that you're not brushing it, and you can go back and forth. And yeah, it sounded like that this was one of those things that was found in like an estate sale or something, where they had bought a box of things. And this wasn't the brand that the wife liked, which was kind of why we didn't get the full story, because it was the husband selling it. But yeah, this was, and this is a lot of money, but for this particular item, it's not. We paid $150 for this. They run brand new for close to $1,000. So, like, it has been used and it has been pretty much refurbished. From what we could tell. He said he cleaned it and made sure everything was operating and everything. And he put a new tension band, which is, I assume, on this side, what that does. I'm not 100% sure on how to use all this. I have not used it yet because I find it very intimidating. And I've barely used the blending board so far. So this would be the next step up, and if I ever get around to making my own custom blends, this will probably be in high use. But for right now, it's sitting downstairs, so I had to go, one, remember that it was down there and find where my husband had hid it. And yeah, so that was my major purchase from the Iowa Sheep and Wool Festival, because like I said, this is like a I think it was between 900 and 1,000. It depended on the size, but we think this is the larger size of them. And that's brand new, and of course this is in used condition, so the teeth aren't 100%. But yeah, that is not only heavy, but it was an amazing purchase. And like I said, I won the blending board after we had purchased it. So yeah, that was all that we had gotten from Iowa Sheep and Wool. Then, as I've mentioned before, I have a wee bit of a problem with Leading Men Fiber Arts. I don't think Steve ever watches my podcast, but he has even said that I have a bit of a yarn problem. But they had their, is it 6th year now, guys? Their anniversary, which is also Steve's birthday sale. And Steve, I think you're right around the same age as me, but I don't remember. But again, I had a little problem because if you are a subscriber to the newsletter, you got a early day of access, and it was even more of a little bit of a % off. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 5 of my mini skeins. Well, these are 50 grams. So these are the sock. I can make a whole pair of socks out of 50 grams, especially if I have a contrasting heeling toe. So I had gotten, and like I sent Becky a thing that I had, I had 50 grams left after I had already made a pair of socks. That was a crocheted pair of socks and not a knit pair of socks even, and I still had 50 grams left over. So I thought I could get these 50s and I can still get a pair of socks, especially since I can get some of the kids' socks out of it. So there's those 5, and here's another 5. So basically I got the colorways that I could get in the 50 gram, I got the 50 grams for. I know, oh, and then just one more because I got 11. I know I was 1 short because I was going to save these for doing like a mini advent calendar just out of these and just do the 12 days, but then I didn't. So I'm not going to remember all the colors of that. I know there is saffron, which might be this one. That's somewhere. There's, I don't remember any. There's Boo in here. There's, and I'm not saying like I can tell by looking at them, and just saying what's coming into my head while I'm looking. The Emerald City is in here. Did I mention that one? I got that actually to go with a pair of yarn that I had gotten last October. Neon Pencil is in here, and there was another bright named Lightning Bug. That is going to be my first pair of socks for the twins because, oh my god, I'm the worst mom ever. I got that yarn and I didn't even connect it with the twins. And they saw that yarn and they go, "Mommy, mine!" And then my husband said which one it was. I'm like, duh, they are so in love with lightning bugs. Why didn't I get a 100 gram skein of that one? But then this is the upside down. This one I do know because this is the only one I got in the regular sock yarn base, and that these are Showstopper intermissions, which are the 50 grams, and this is the 100 gram because it's a Stranger Thing reference, and I have my Stranger Things Bumblebee Acres yarn, so I thought those would go good together, and if I'm ambitious enough, I can get that done before we go to Florida for Halloween Horror Nights. So yes, I'm going to Halloween Horror Nights this year because of the whole screw up back in January with our flights. So we had enough credit that our flight was free and our car rental was free. So yeah, now I'm trying to remember. These are all in the BFL nylon base. Oh, Night Lily was in these, the intermissions. See, I told you, there's all sorts. I can remember if I look at the names. I believe this was Rubescence. I had gotten that one, and that again is in the BFL. I'm not remembering what you are. Dames at Sea, I think. And this is, oh, I just had you. Your name escaped me though. I'm not going to remember. I just had it too. Moonstone? Maybe? I think this was Moonstone. And double your pleasure. So I was going to get this in the 50, but they didn't have this in 50. And I probably could have gotten this in just a 20 gram mini because this would be an excellent heel toe contrast bright pop. But I decided I'd just go ahead and get the 100 gram. Because I thought that was bright and fun. So that is all I got. I know it was ridiculous. Oh my god, guys. And I got this yarn. This yarn in total was $200. I know. Like I said, it was a ridiculous amount of money, but this is instead of my advent calendar. So I spent $200 on a bunch of socks that I will be making, because I am making socks. I will get there eventually. Unlike other people, I don't have years and years and years of sock stash. Because I have so many people to make for, all these colors just pop out for me for people other than just myself. But yeah, I forgot. Oh, this box. A $200 value. I mean, $200 that I paid, let alone the discount that I got on it. Post office pretty much lost it on me. Guys, I about flipped out. So what had happened was that they put our key for our locker in somebody else's mailbox. Although they might also have gotten mail, so they might have just only had one key and just jammed it all into one box instead of delivering it to somebody's doorstep because they ran out of boxes, right? I mean, that's the only things I can think of. But this, and actually my the sock yarn that I'd won from Fiberkind, from the Sock Knitters United, those all got delivered to somebody else, and they had to run it over to me. Like, the prize yarn wasn't such a big deal, but my leading men, I gotta have my fix of Steve and Andy. HobbyLobby clearance. This was actually from my first trip. I did actually go to 3 stores. I only bought a couple things at 2 of them. But this was my first store, is where I did my bulk of my shopping because I was there, of course, as they were marking down. So I was able to get these, the Dishy type Yarn Bee yarns. I got 2 of this color and 2 of this color. And that's all I bought for this particular yarn. I've never used this stuff before, so I didn't want to go crazy because I haven't used it, so I don't know if I'm going to like it. But my husband has had interest in bathroom, bathtub, bath time scrubber. So that was kind of the idea behind these, was since they are the nicer, I think these are the cotton ones, that this would be actually nice on your skin kind of scrubbing. So that's why we got those. These will probably be the color I use for him, and then this is just the other color that they had available. Hobby Lobby Trip 2. This is the idea. This does actually have a project behind it. Our original tree skirt for our tree had a Sinfonia yarn base, and then I had like a white faux fur trim or something on it. I have no idea what that yarn was. I just know the Sinfonia because when we refound it, I'm like, this is that cotton. But this time I'm going to make something and put this as the trim around it. The new Christmas tree that we got on clearance this past year is a tinsel tree. And so we thought this would be a really fun tinsel. And it was only certain colors of this tinsel stuff that was on the Hobby Lobby, or that was marked on the sale. So we got this one, and I might go back later and get other colors. We'll just see. But I got that while it was on its cheap and clearance pricing. And I believe it's a silver tinsel tree that we got, because that's what our old tinsel tree was. But our old tinsel tree is a slim, and this is a just full regular bushy tinsel tree. Is we got this dazzling Yarn Bee Dazzling in the Lucky You colorway. Trip. I believe that this is the Raspberry Surprise. I was able to get 3 of those. This was not a color that I thought I could use for the boys, so I only got a couple of, but I did enjoy it. So I got it for myself, more or less. I thought I got more of these, but apparently I only got 6. I thought I'd gotten 10. This is a Yarn Bee, and I think this was in the color teal. And then I was able to get, was it 6 of these too? Which is in the color, yeah, I'm pretty sure this was also 6. And the blue multi, and that's, again, and I love this yarn. This was a Fjordified yarn, so it has lost its label. I'm still looking. I know I saw it in the living room, but I'm not sure if I threw it away or not. But I have tagged these, so yeah, I have 2 of each color, and there's 3 colors here. 2 of which I have 2 of, and 1 of that I have 4 of, and these are Sinfonia yarns, and that is 100% mercerized cotton. I think I can't carry them all. I think that's considered a sport weight cotton. I could be wrong on that. It is a little thinner than your like sugars and cream and such, but I was thinking, originally I did this because I really liked the washcloth that I made back years ago, which was with a Sinfonia yarn, and then I remembered watching somebody's video shortly after I purchased this, and they said that, and I liked the looks. I didn't actually ever use the washcloth because I had made it for somebody else. They said that mercerized cotton is not absorbent and not good for dishcloths. So I thought, I have enough here, I hopefully can make a top out of it. So yeah, I got, this was again from the first Hobby Lobby trip. I did not clear them out. I was nice and I left plenty for anyone else. But I did get, oh guys, sorry if you get a nurse shake. I did get 3 of each color that I did get. I forget what these were. I want to say this is some kind of teal. My brain is not working, and Jeremy ran off with my phone to run me an errand. So yeah, 3 of that one that I showed you, and 3 of that one. And these are, of course, I love these cottons, and I use this in a washcloth that I do sell in my Etsy shop, although I haven't actually, I don't even know if that listing is live currently, but that is why I made sure that I got some of those, and again, I might be able to use those in a crochet. And I got, well, let's see, there's these 2. I know there are some repeats in the colors, but I can't tell them apart good enough to tell you. Those 2. And these 2, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9? Did I get 9 lollies? It sounds like thunder, but it's the cats running back and forth chasing each other. Yes, I got 9, which if you understand Fjord's name, you will get where that's a funny reference. I have 9 lollies that I was able to get out of my, they had not marked down the lollies at the first Hobby Lobby that I had gone to, so that is the only reason why I do not have more, especially of the one blue one that well, the Spadonkle Day was that pair of socks. I did not bring over the leftovers on that, because that's another one of the oh, what was I going to call it? The Fordified yarns, because it's Kitty Fjord. But this was, I want to say, I think this is Crazy Random Happenstance, because this is the one that he just got. One of these you have seen. because I gave it to him for our anniversary. Oh geez, guys. I know I shouldn't have done this without being able to tell. Like, I've labeled these, so I should be able to tell what they are, but I didn't put it over the phone. Well, one, I think this is Boomstick. I think this is Skull Crusher Mountain. And this is Crazy Random Happenstance. Hopefully, maybe. Skull Crusher Mountain is a Jonathan Coulton song. Crazy Random Happenstance is from Horrible the Musical. And Boomstick is Evil Dead. So, yeah, I love her names for a lot of those. And they're just perfect because they fit me and my husband's likes so well. There's some of her stuff that I don't identify with. But overall, I had to go and make another purchase because for August, she brought back all of, and these were yarns that I had purchased. I forgot to specify that. And that was back in May. So then because I know I showed you one when I did my May editions, and I don't remember. I want to say it was Crazy Random Happenstance, maybe? Or Skull Crusher Mountain. I know it wasn't Boomstick. Then she brought back all of her past colorways for the month of August because it was her year anniversary. I did not realize she had only been dyeing for a year. So I'm not going to know what all these are right offhand, but I got 7. Because guys, I have a problem, and I really like really pretty hand-dyed yarns. So yeah, I got these in the mail just today. I know there is Ladies of the Knit in here. There is something about not the hands, it's a hammer, which is a superhero reference. My husband knew that one. There's Chilling Adventures. There is Under the Sea. There is there is just some really great colorways, and I'm not going to remember them all because I'm just so excited about. There's Twisted Lagoon. That was another one. I did not get any Harry Potter ones, I don't think, and we did not actually get any Stranger Thing ones. And I just totally destroyed that one's wrapping. But yeah, those just came in the day today. But since I was on her podcast, I thought I'd go ahead and lump all that stuff that we had gotten all together. I lied, it was in the box. Here is a Spadoinkle Day. This is like my favorite colorway she does. At some point, I hope to save up money so I can buy a whole sweater's worth quantity of this. Right now, I think all she has is she has a sparkle base. She has this, she calls this the 4 Plies of the Apocalypse Faith, which is I think it's 438 sock yarn, so not quite your light fingering, but lighter than some. And then she has a worsted weight. Did I say sparkle? So she has Sparkle Madness, which is sparkle base, this 4 Plies of the Apocalypse, and there was a third base that was a worsted weight. Now, if she gets a DK, I might be moved to purchasing a sweater's quantity sooner, but yeah, it's going to take a lot of yarn to make me a pretty sweater out of this. But I just love, 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 love this color. And this is, did I say it? Spadoinkle Day, which is our Cannibal the Musical reference. Mary, if you're watching, I need a not butt colorway. And I'm sure you know the musical, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay guys, now for a mill, I don't know what you call them, Dyed in the Wool decided that they were moving on to other things just because they didn't have time for the business anymore, so kind of retirement-y kind of thing. So I went ahead and made a purchase with them. And I don't have everything here in front of me because I have labeled the stuff, so some of it's here and some of it's not, and I have to find the rest of it because this is kind of at the same time I found the label, so it's kind of a mess. But I had gotten this one. This, I had gotten 2 things. I put them both together. They came in 2-ounce things, so a lot of it I couldn't get a lot more of, or if I could, I didn't know what it felt like, so I didn't want to order a bunch right off the bat. So ones that I could get 2 of, I got 2 of, and most of the stuff was already sold out because I did get a refund because stuff had come back to me. But yeah, I'd gotten these from them. Those are all my double orders that I actually got. And some of my singles. So this is all fiber. These are all solid color ones from a different sheet, so they're not dyed. Oh, and I didn't bring the stitch markers. I got some stitch markers too, which was its own story. They got left out of the envelope, and I've been so overwhelmed that I didn't even realize that I was missing them till like these came on the weekend, and I realized like a couple days later that I was missing my stitch markers. But I got them. But yeah, now I hear at the garage door. So one more thing, guys. This was also something I got from Dyed in the Wool, and I totally forgot to record them. I got 3 different sets here, but originally I had just gotten this stitch marker, but these items actually got forgotten in my bag of wools, or sheep fibers. So she added in a set of music-themed stitch markers with my progress keeper. Then this one over here is actually going to be a gift. This is kind of heavy for a progress keeper, but like I said, this one's going to be a gift. And then there's these little, which you probably can't really see, are little, it was a gardening related, so these are supposed to be seeds that you water with the watering can. Like I said, that one's a gift for a knitter person. And then these are all together, so they're kind of hard to weed out. I have a like I said, they're hard to weed out. I have a sea-themed collection of little animals. Like this here is a turtle. Can't flip him over. There's, I believe, a dolphin, a seahorse, and some other oceany ones. But of course, I got this because I thought there was the dolphin in the set. They weren't described. I think that might just be a seashell. I haven't had anybody tell me specifically what these are. Yeah, there's a bunch of little stitch markers that I got from Dyed in the Wool when they were going out of business. Clearance yarn. I believe this was Balance, and it is a mandala ombre. And my husband was able to find 3 of these. I was not with him when he purchased these, so this was not even my fault. This was a gift. But he had found 3 in the same color, and they were on clearance. So we had, this was back when we first found the pack and track labels. We had gone to one store looking for the pack and track labels, and that's where we'd gone to the store that we'd found them in, and while we were there, we were looking at the yarn stuff, and I had told him how the mandala ombre was like one of the newest yarns that they had come out with for mandalas, and he was like, they only had one color there. I don't remember what it was, but he thought it looked really ugly, and it was like one of the denim-y colors, and he said it just looked like dirty denim. So he didn't like that, but he liked this one. So I have 3 of those mandalas. Alright guys, I think we finally made it through everything, whether it be for part 1, part 2, or part 3. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day and enjoy your time. Yeah, I hope that the next actual podcast is not this long in between, but as always, I try to get a weekly video up every week. I usually record what I do on Wednesday, so it's not usually up till Thursday. If you want to follow us on social media, there is a bunch of who I am where in the description box down below. So it's not the physical links, but it does have my username on there. And yeah, if you enjoy this episode or this part of the episode, I'd appreciate if you'd hook the like button and subscribe. Talk to you later, guys. Watch out, dangerous kittens lurk.